In this video tutorial, we will see how to navigate to templates. We will be creating templates for login, logout, register and home HTML pages and try to create basic authentication application. So create a template folder inside products app and create 4 HTML pages: home, login, logout and register. Let's do that first. So this is our product app. Inside this, create a folder, templates. Now inside these templates, create 4 HTML files: login.html, logout.html, register.html and home.html. So this is my home page, this is my register page, this is logout and this is login page. So inside this home page, we will be creating one div tag. Here, this is my home page. Close the div. So same div tag we will be using for register page, logout page and login page. So first let's navigate to our home page. For that we will be using one urls.py file inside this products app. So copy this urls.py file and paste inside this products app with the same name, urls.py. So here we don't need this admin, we need path, we don't need include. Here it is my home page, so we don't need any URL name, we will be using default URL. So here mention view dot home, views dot home. So from product import views. So inside this views.py file, come back to our URL, what is it, products URL, views.py file, copy this name, views.py dev, paste the name. We will be requiring one parameter request, then return render, first parameter is request, navigate to home.html page. We will be saying that message this is from backend. Okay, this message we will be sending. Copy this, come to home page, come to body. Here create one h1 tag. We will be using Jinja code here. Paste MES message here. So I run this file pymanage.py, start the server. Our server is started. Click on this link. This is our home page, but we need to navigate to our default home page, this one. It is not navigating to that. Okay, we forgot to include this file inside our testdb_urls.py. So come to testdb.urls.py, add here path without any value, include string, application name, product dot urls. Okay, come back to this Chrome, refresh this page. Okay, some mistake is there inside this HTML. Let's see that. Okay, we don't need this div here. Refresh this. Okay, this is my home page. The message is coming from the backend. Fine. Now we need to add login, logout, and register button here. So we will be using anchor tag ref. We will not be assigning any value. This is my login page. Close the tag. Put this inside a div. Now same anchor tag we need for logout and register. So this is my logout, this is my register. So copy these three and paste inside the register page. Inside logout page. It is inside the login page as well. Save this file. Okay, we have created URLs which will navigate to login, logout, and register page. Now we don't have login and logout pages in backend. So for the login and logout, we will be using DJANGO inbuilt logout and login views. So those views we will be using inside our main url.py file. So come here, path. So this is our login. Then we will be using DJANGO inbuilt login view. So that is available inside from django.country.path import views. We can use alias if we want, otherwise we don't need any alias. We will require to use views dot login view, and this is a class type. Login view is a class type. For that we will be using as_view, and here we need to mention inside this template underscore name. Our template name is login.html, and name, URL name we need to mention, that is login, put comma, copy and paste the same and modify here, logout, copy, this is our logout view, here this is our logout.html and URL name is logout. So our logout and login views are ready. So let's modify our code inside this home HTML. Here this href we will be using Jinja code, curly braces inside the percentage URL, and URL name is, we need to use login URL name. So here URL name is this name, our login name is equal to login. Copy this, come to home.html and paste here same. Now copy this href, now use here instead of login, URL name is logout. Register name we have not created, we will create this name as well. So for time being we can write register. So copy these three onto register.html file and replace these three div tag with login, logout, register div tags with URL. So modify the code for logout page, copy, modify the code for logout page and modify code for the login page, paste. So we have modified the code. Click on this link. So logout not found, logout not a valid view function or pattern name. So there is a mistake here. Copy this logout, okay, where it is giving reverse net not found. Everything looks perfect, but there is a mistake. Reverse for logout not found. Logout is not a valid view function or pattern name. This is my logout views dot as underscore view template name logout. Okay, copy this. Come back to home.html. Paste logout here. This is correct. Stop the server. Run the server, pymanage.py, run the server, click on this link. Same error is coming. Now it is saying reverse for register not found. Okay. So we can type code for this URL, come back to our products url.py, open that file, come to url.patterns list, path. What we need to use register, copy this, paste the same, use dot, paste the same name, register, and name is equal to, we will be using register only, and home name we need to give, name is equal to home. So currently this definition is not available. Copy this, come to views.py file inside this product application, yet register function request return is the same render method here. Render this code we will modify for login and register application in future. So right now modify this code. Here it is register.html. This is from backend code register. So come back to our register.html. So paste create h1 tag h1 and message mes. This mes is the key which we are using inside our views.py here. So let's come back to our Chrome. Click on this link. Okay, this is my home page. Click on logout. First we click on login page. This is my login page. Error is there. Login page, we don't need this. Modify this. Then this home. Inside this login, we don't need login. Actually, we need home page. Home. Instead of login, we need home page. Modify this code, refresh this page. This is my login page. Click on home, we are able to come back to home page. Now click on logout button. So mistake is there. Logout, remove this thing. So instead of logout, we need to mention here home. Remove this logout, change it to home. Similarly for register, instead of register, we need to use home. Okay, refresh this. This is my logout page. Come back to home page. Click on register page. Remove this div from here. Refresh this. This message is from backend. Come back to home page. Okay, we are able to navigate to all the templates. Login, logout, and register. Now let's create form to register a user and for the login. For that, we will be creating one forms.py file inside this product. Forms.py. So here we will be importing. Here we will be creating class user creation and we will be importing user creation form, that is from DJANGO .contrib.auth.forms import user creation form. So copy this, paste here. Now inside this we will be use meta class meta, and we will be using fields. First field is our model's name. Model is equal to user model. User is the DJANGO inbuilt model that we need to import from DJANGO.contrib.auth.models import user model. So we have imported the user model. Now we need to add fields. Fields is equal to, so while creating any user, we need user name, then we need email, then we need to confirm the password, that same password we need to repeat it once again for the confirmation. Password 1, password 2. So this is our user creation form. Let's use this form, copy this form, come back to our views.py file. So create object of that form. Form is equal to user creation. Import this from dot forms import user creation. So we will be sending this form to our front end in place of this message. So form, this is the value and the key is same. We can give any name to this key. Here we are giving form. Now this is our crispy form. So we need to install DJANGO crispy form package to use this inbuilt form. So stop the server, use pip install DJANGO underscore crispy underscore form, enter DJANGO underscore crispy underscore forms. Okay, it is DJANGO underscore crispy underscore forms. So we need to add this package inside our settings.py application. So come to settings.py, mention here crispy forms, So we have imported that inbuilt crispy form inside our settings.py. So let's come back to views.py. We have created form. We need to render this form to our register and login. So first let's come to login page, login.html, give breaks here. Now here inside div tag, we will be creating form and mention here form. This is the key name which we are using for this form of the object. This key, copy this, come back to login.html page form, and along with this we need to mention crispy. So since we are using this crispy, we need to load crispy forms here. For that to use load crispy underscore forms underscore tags. So load this, and this form we will be using method that is post. Now this is the one more thing, we need to use CSRF token here. So mention here percentage CSRF underscore token. So this token will merge with our form field. Those fields are username, password, email, and we need to use CSRF underscore token here. This CSRF underscore token will create one token and it will send along with this form to backend with the fields username, password, email ID. With those fields, it will send one token to backend. For our security, we are using this CSRF token here. So for submitting this form, we will be creating one button, submit button, submit. We need to mention type, that is submit. So copy the same, and the same we will be using for our registration page as well, the same form. Copy this form onto register. After this message, apply breaks and paste the same code, but we don't need here this submit button. Remove this button. In place of submit button, we need register button. Register. Click on this register button. So our register and login forms are ready. So let's run the application py manage.py server. Server is running without any error. Click on this link. So click on this login button. So some mistake is there. You need to mention crispy_forms_tag. Copy this. Come to our register.html. Paste here and come to login. Paste the same code here. Now refresh this page again. Okay, we are able to create a login form. Now if we want to register, click on this register button. We are able to create register form as well. This is our register and this is our submit. So let's create super user first to register here for the login. So come back and create one user. Username you can give any name. I give here kbrmr7. Email ID kbrmr7@gmail.com, and password I am giving the same password. Register. Click on register. Okay, I think we have registered, but we are not showing any message here, and we are still on the same page. We will modify our code to show a success message after creating this form. Now come back to our login and try to log in with the same username and password. Submit. Please enter a correct username and password. Note that both fields may be case sensitive. So I think we need to modify our code in our use.py. So let's come back to PyCharm. Come back to use.py. So here we have created only form page for the register. Now here, if the request comes with post method, if request dot method is equal to post, then this is our login page. Else this is our register page. So let's type code for our login page. So here we will be using this same form, same form copy paste, and if request dot post if this form is valid, if dot is valid, verify the usernames and password and save the form dot save the db, and we want to show username. Your username is equal to form dot clean the data of the field. So once we complete, come back here, register. So once we submit the register form with username, email, and two passwords, we will clean those fields. Underscore data dot get our field name is username. And this is form dot in underscore data dot get username. So this is the username we will get. We will be showing one success message on the page that user has got created successfully. For that we will be using a message dot message we need to import from DJANGO dot country import message dot success request and our message. Here we will be typing username. Your account is created. That's it. Now you can log in. Save the file. After this, we need to redirect to login page. Redirect. We need to import redirect first. Redirect to login page. Redirect to login page. Home editor. Okay, it's done, almost done. Now save the file, run this URL, close this previous URL, come back to login. Our login page is working. Come back to register, click on logout. Logout is also working. First let's register the user. Username kparmar7 kparmar@mail.com is the email address. Same password kparmar7 kparmar7. Confirm the password. So let's see whether we get any error or not. So remove the username and click on register. Yes, getting one message. Please fill out this field. So fill out this field. Now let's mismatch the password. I'm adding one random numbers here. Click on register. It is saying the two password fields didn't match. So everything is working fine. Copy this username, paste here as well. Click on register. The password is too similar to username, so we should use a different password. Let's say password 23. Copy the same and paste here. Again, not password 23. Now click on register. Click on this button. So we are able to navigate to login page successfully, but We are not able to see the message. Okay, our message is not coming here. Success message. So let's see the problem. Where is the problem? Come back to our login page. We are in the login page. We have not called any message here. So first we need to call message from backend h1 tag and call this message. Let me double message. This message. Copy the same, paste here. So let's try to log in here with the user we created and the password. We are able to log in successfully, but we are not navigating to home page. To navigate to home page, we need to modify some code in our settings.py. Come back to settings.py. In last, after this static underscore URL, we need to mention login underscore redirect underscore URL is equal to, it is our home page. After logging in, redirect to this home page. Come back to our Chrome, refresh this page. Is not working. Accounts profile is not found. To stop the server, run the pymanage.py run server. Click on this link, close this, login. Now login with username and password at 123, submit. We are able to log into our page, but we don't need this login URL here, so remove this login URL from this home page. Remove this, save the file, refresh this. Now we are in the login. After logging in, if we want to click on logout, we have logged out. Now this is our home page. Now we are able to navigate to any page without any authentication, so that we will do. But first, let's see the message. Here some message is coming. So what is the issue? Login page, come to this message. Message is coming. This is the message. I think we need to iterate this message. For that, we will be using for loop for message inside this message is, then print percentage here and here, then print the message and the for loop and for. Okay, now run this file, refresh this page. Okay, your account is created. Now you can log in. Correct. So let's come back to our PyCharm and see. Let's see the settings.py file. So in the database, in Microsoft SQL database, we check this user table. Come to databases, DJANGO MSSQL tables, search for the user table. DJANGO.user table is not available here. Come back to Python, stop the server, run Python shell. So come back to views.py, sorry, forms.py, copy this user. We have created a user. So u is equal to user, create the object, and let's see if our user is visible or not. Our user is not visible here. Run the server, click on this link. So this is our home page. Come back to home page, set back the login page, refresh, click on login, KPRMR7, set and password 123. This is home page, but we are not able to see the user here. I want to see the user. How can we see the user? So let's come back to settings.py. So we will be using SQLIT3 along with MSSQL server. So uncomment this file, uncomment these lines, arrange it properly, otherwise we will get indentation error. Okay. In the name, you write. Now create a super user, but before that I show you .py run server. Click on this link. So how can we see the user? Click on this admin. So you are authentication. You are authenticated as Kashyap7, but are not author. We need to let's try to log in the user which we created. So this is not a super user. First we need to create a super user to log in here. So create super user. UImanage.py, create super user. Username, I will be giving it already taken. Then exit from the file. We don't need. Run the server. UImanage.py run server. Come back to our Chrome. Username HP. You can create any super user here. Come back to users. We can see here our two users are created, HP and APRMR7. This we created, and this HP super user I created before this application. So our two users are created. Here we can see we are not able to recognize the password which we entered. Let's come back and see the password for the second user. Run the server, come back to Python, run the server, click on this link, close this URL, admin users. So the password which I entered was password@123. It is converted into hash code. We are not able to see any password here. So to see the user, we need to use one more DB inside our settings.py file along with MSSQL server. So I'm using SQLite, which stores our user passwords. So let's come back to our home.html. We are facing issue with this login. Suppose if user has not logged in, then it has to show this login URL. Otherwise, we should not see this login URL after logging in. So let's modify this code. If percentage if user dot is underscore authenticated. If user is authenticated means if user has logged in, then show this logout page. Otherwise, else show this logging in register URL. So percentage and if. So what we are doing here, if user has logged in, then show only this URL link. Otherwise, if user has not logged in, then show this login and register URLs. Save this file, come back to Chrome. Let's hit the home page. This is our home page. So user has successfully logged in, so it is showing logout URL link only. So click on logout. So it is showing now login, home and register, these three links. So let's come back to home page. We can see login and register page. After logout, it is showing login and register page only. So let me try to navigate to login page, home page, register page, home page, working perfectly. Click on this login. First we need to log in, so that only we can able to navigate to home page. So password 123. So after logging in, we are able to see this logout link. This code is working perfectly. So this is the code for the authentication. If user is logged in, then show only logout button. If user has not logged in, then show login and register buttons. So this is working fine. Let's see if any other code we need to modify. Come back to Chrome, click on logout. So come to login. In the login we are seeing logout button here, but we don't need this logout button here. We need to modify this code in our login.html. So copy this same line, login. If user is authentication, means if user has logged in, then show home page. Otherwise, show logout. So if user is authenticated, then show logout button. Otherwise, show home and register button. So else and if. So in our login.html, if user is authenticated means if user has logged in, then show only logout button, otherwise show home and register button. Come back to Chrome, refresh this page, we are able to see only home and register buttons. So first let's log in, APR7, password 123, submit. Let's navigate to login page manually. So if we navigate to this login page manually, we can see here only logout button because we have already logged in. So first log out, from there click on login. Now we can see home and register buttons. So we can modify this code based on our requirement. Let's see any other code if we need to modify or not. So same thing we need to do for our logout. There is logout page. If user is authenticated, then we need logout link here, log out, else we need login and register. So here and finish the and if come back to Chrome and check this page. Chrome, click on logout, log out. Logout, then after logging in, let's check. We have logged in. Now click logout. It is showing login and register. So come back to home page. We need to mention here home page as well. Refresh this page, come back to home page, click on login. Here we have 7, 3. Now this is our home page. Click on logout. Now we can see we are able to navigate to home page. This is home page. Now similarly modify the care code for the register. Copy this, register page. If user is authenticated, means if user has already logged in, then he has to log out, else he has to log in, and we need to add here home page. And if save this file, so we can add CSS as per our requirement. This is our only HTML and DJANGO code. So let's see what all the codes we have done. This is our models.py file. We have not touched this code. This code is as it is. Then we created forms.py file. In this forms.py file, we added email field, password fields, and username fields. These four fields, and we use inbuilt DJANGO model, that is user. This form we used for our login and registration page. To navigate to login and registration page, we are checking conditions. If the condition is post, then we are checking whether the user has submitted the form for the user creation or not. Else we are simply navigating to home page if the request is get. So, and here we created home page. In the URL, there are two URL files. One is application testdb urls.py. This is our main URL. Inside that we are calling products.url file. This is our products.url file. From products.url file, we are navigating to home page and register page. And testdb urls.py file, we are navigating to login and logout page. So that's it for this video. We have created a page for login, register, and for the authentication.